We will now begin Q&A. Once again, if you have any questions, please submit them to slido.com, and the code is YP2018. Sorry. The first question is, what are the first steps we can take to use Islam to combat injustice in this world?
Combat injustice within yourself. That's the first step. They say, فَاقِدُ شَيْءٍ لَا يُعْطِيهِ. One lacking something can't give it to others. I think it's very important for us. When I was in Toronto, I was at Reviving the Islamic Spirit Conference. There were some brothers, they had a shirt, and in Arabic the shirt said Al-Adl, Al-Adl. And then below it says social justice. Al-Adl is wider than social justice. And I think now again, there's nothing wrong with pursuing social justice, justice in society, in the world. All right, Muslims, that's part of our mission. But justice is far greater than that. That is a materialistic understanding of justice. وَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ. Amongst them those who oppress themselves. So we can oppress our very souls by not repenting from our sins, by not studying and learning our religion, so that we do for our souls the things necessary for its foundation, for its salvation rather. Then there's justice in our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so what can we do to bring justice in the world? First, understand that ultimately justice doesn't come from us. We can be a means, a sabab, that Allah Ta'ala uses to bring and establish justice in the world. But if our relationship with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is flawed, then we're not going to accomplish anything. We're not going to accomplish anything. وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ عَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمِ عفwan. Victory only comes from Allah, the Mighty, the Wise. And so if we want to see justice in the world, we have to establish justice in our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to be just in our relationship with ourselves, and then just in our dealings with people that we encounter in the world, and our relationship in the institutions that qualify our societies. That's how we do it. If we I forgot what I was going to say. No, if we just, let me give you an example. We say that the police are racist. The police are a racist institution. Okay? If we just focus on institutional changes, so we're going to have body cams, we're going to have recruit policemen from the local communities, we're going to do all of these things, but if we don't address the racism in society, those reform structures and institutions are still going to be populated by racist people. And the racism isn't necessarily confined to people of a different race. How many of you saw an incredible movie? I try to watch one movie a year. So this, except on the airplane. This year's movie, incredible movie, The Hate You Give. How many of you saw that movie, The Hate You Give? Right? Her uncle, right, Star's uncle, was just as racist as the other police. Remember the scene in the kitchen, and she's talking with her uncle, and she says, if you encountered a black kid vis-a-vis a white guy, and blah, 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 would you search him or something? And he said no, as opposed to the black kid. And so he had internalized the same kind of fears, the same kind of racist thinking as the white cop. And so we have to, while we're working on addressing institutional racism and structural racism, institutional injustice and structural injustices. And this is where the dawah comes in. We have to work on addressing the hatred and the lack of faith and the lack of justice in the hearts of human beings. And we can't do that unless we adjust ourselves, because it is an incredibly difficult job. It's an incredibly difficult job, and so it's not going to happen without divine intervention. And the divine intervention isn't going to happen if we're not a community that invites divine intervention. So that's what we can do, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. You mentioned lighting the torch in the darkness of society, but oftentimes it's our own homes of darkness that need to be lit up. What advice do you have on how to give dawah to our own family members?
Be the light you want to see dispel the darkness in your home. The best dawah is through our example. So we're not screaming back at our parents when they're screaming at us. Eventually that'll break the whole cycle. But some children, they love to be screamed at so they could push those buttons, or even when the parents are calm, they can get them worked up. They just push the right button and then it's on. And it becomes a power game. Like, I can manipulate and control my parents. I can make them go crazy. Watch. Bam. Ah! So don't be part of the darkness. First and foremost, by living the religion and being patient and calling on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and putting Allah first and being the one willing to back down from the argument, being the one willing to forego their right. Because someone has to give up something for us to move forward. If no one's willing to give up, like, you're not going to that party with those non-Muslim friends, why not? Ahmed's parents let him go. I'm going to the party. And then it's bam, bam, like, okay, alhamdulillah, listen, the party's not the end of the world. I'll stay here and read Quran. Now you short-circuited the whole system. What? You're not going to argue about it anymore? And so be the light that you want to see in the home. And be patient and understand, if you give up something, anything we give up in this world, we're only sending the benefit and reward for that for our souls in the akhirah. And to go back to the social justice, our scheme of justice is beyond the world. Like, people are Marxist and Marxists, they're Marxists who undertake good causes that are very beneficial in society, and they're Marxists that do very destructive things. So it's not all bad. Nothing is all bad and all good. But people are Marxists. For example, there's no conception of the akhirah. And so if they don't get the justice here, there is no justice. And so it becomes a bitter zero-sum game. Whereas we don't get it here, we get it in the akhirah. So we can relax. That doesn't say we don't work hard, we don't struggle, but it doesn't drive us crazy. It doesn't push us away from our faith. Because we understand, okay, I didn't get it here, but it's waiting in the akhirah. You know, the most wretched man, he had no justice. Many of you know the hadith. He's the most wretched man that ever lived. He had no good in the world. But Yawm al-Qiyamah, he'll be just dipped into Jannah. Boop. And then Allah will ask him, did he ever suffer any injustice, any pain in the world? La wallahi la. No, I swear by it. Because Jannah made him forget everything. Like it's unjust that women have to go through labor pains. Like sister having the baby, ah! Then as soon as she sees the baby, she forgot all about it. Oh, mashallah. It's like 10 minutes ago. Ah! As soon as that baby's in her arms, like, that pain is still there. She just forgot all about it. And that's how Jannah is. So there's a lot of labor pains as we try to birth justice. But if we don't see the baby here, we'll definitely see the baby in Jannah, inshallah. And then everything we suffered in the world is gone. And so that's a reality for us, but not for people who don't believe in Jannah. So we have to, and that's the balance. So we don't say, oh, just forget working for justice, because we get it all in Jannah. As they say, pie in the sky in the by and by. No, we're not a pie in the sky in the by and by religion. But on the other hand, we're not a religion that everything is the world. Everything's in the dunya. And it has to be here. We're balanced. Ummatan wasata. We struggle, we work, we sacrifice, we try to make things better. But if it doesn't work out, as oftentimes it does not work out, then we know, hey, everything's going to be all right in Jannah. And so I could just relax and keep working Allah, keep worshiping Allah, and then give it another crack. Give it another shot, as opposed to just burnt out and, you know, what's the point? We struggle, we sacrifice, we protest, we sat in, and nothing changed. It's all right. Just Allah got your back. So just relax. Things will definitely change in Jannah. عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ يَوْمٌ عَسِيرٌ. It's going to be a bad day for oppressors. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ. So if they don't get it in this world, they're going to definitely get it in the next. And it's not going to be pleasant. They'll wish they gave up something in this world. Anyway, Yalla, what's the next question?
How do we spread Islam without making it seen as we are forcing it on others?
By getting over this whole idea that people are so fragile, we have to treat them like an egg. If that we just do one thing wrong, we drop it and it cracks. So, you know, oh, you're pushing your religion on me. I'm having an anxiety attack. We have to, like, people are tougher than we think, and we have to love people. There's the answer. We have to love people. And if you love people, you're going to push some good on them from time to time, because you don't want to see them suffer. Like if your friend's strung out on drugs, like if you have to knock them out and drag them to rehab, you're going to do it because you don't want to see them dead in the alley. And so you're forcing rehab on them. It's like, listen, man, I'm sick of the excuses. Like you are hooked, you're strung out. Don't tell me you're just social and this and at the party. Nah, you're messed up. And you're coming to rehab. Now I ain't going nowhere, oh yeah? So sometimes you have to force things on people for their own good because you love them. And sometimes, you know, you balance things out because you know you might turn them off. But it shouldn't be an a priori assumption, I can't be a little forceful because I'm going to hurt their feelings or I'm going to turn them off forever. It's a case-by-case situation. And sometimes, I mean, people so messed up, it's like, well, it can't get any worse. So even if they don't listen to me, they're already at rock bottom, so I'm going to give them some dawah to try to save their life.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, last question. Can you mention the name of the book and author that you referenced about the impact of Muslims on the West?
Islamic civilization.
Oh, the coddling of the American mind, which it has nothing to do with Islam directly. But I think we can all greatly benefit, especially parents, the coddling of the American mind. It's an incredible look at how good intentions, like this idea of protecting our children from any harm, so they can't play in dirt, so their immune systems don't develop. Right? They can't play with, they can't cut their own cake because the knife is sharp. They might cut themselves. In that book they make an interesting parable. There was in Ohio, I forget which city. It wasn't Toledo. It wasn't Columbus. Somewhere in Ohio, I think it was Cleveland. The police saw a child inside of a car with the windows up. And someone, a customer at the mall saw the child in the car, windows up, called the police to rescue the child. Which sounds, mashallah, they did the right thing. Only problem, the child was 11 years old and didn't want to go in the store with her mother because she was bored and preferred to stay in the car and play with her phone or something. But this idea that even 11-year-olds, and so what they said is, nowadays, we bring in babysitters to babysit our 11-year-olds. But when we were 11 years old, we were babysitting our younger brothers and sisters. Now the babysitters need babysitters. Like, I know when my sister was 11 and I was 10, she was the babysitter. She cooked. She helped us all organize our homework, you know, the whole nine. Now, someone who's a little older in here besides me, am I making this up? It's the truth, right? But now our 11-year-olds, we get babysitters. I'm going away I'm going to be gone all day. I'm going to have someone come and watch you. We did it to them. It's our fault. And so, yeah, the coddling of the American mind. So we have to just, I think, look at things a little differently and understand that the world isn't as dangerous as we think it is. The dangers have always been there, but they're less now. They're less across the board. Barakallahu feekum. Allah bless you. I said anything offensive, I sincerely apologize. That wasn't the intent. May Allah Ta'ala bless you guys, give you long life, through barakah. Stay strong, live long, keep your head up, be proud to be Muslim. That's the other, the characteristics. As you run out, I remember the other set of characteristics. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ, called to Allah, وَعَمَلَ صَالِحًا, does righteous deeds, وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and proudly says, I'm amongst the Muslims. Assalamu alaikum.
I just want to announce